Good day, collective. It's a beautiful morning out here today, and I'm down the river in this nice spot. I'm going to be gone soon from here, so I'm enjoying this space. Just let me bring this around for you, and I can show you where I am. But, I was sitting over here, but Oh, let me turn this around. But I'm a bit hot in the sun, but I didn't want to disturb the birds. There we go. Look, there he goes. Oh, I didn't want to disturb your pelican. Go back over here. Anyway, this is where I am. Sitting over here because it's shady. I think might be a bit of meditation over there. So, yeah, again, look, here's a little bit of my merch. This Patricia studio. We're supposed to say .com on there, but never mind. Yeah, this is based off one of my paintings. And I've also got t-shirts and that with the care on it, because I wanted to promote the care, like just, whoops, help, like that, holding the water for somebody, being the vessel for others. See that little bird there is getting a drink? Yeah, and this is one of my t-shirts. What goes around comes around. And that's me, right? So anyway, the phone case is, I was going to show you that too, but it's on the phone and I'm recording with the phone, so I can't show you. So anyway, I was compelled to talk a little bit about gypsies this morning. There was something else as well. But you know how, gypsies have been persecuted since ever. And it's because, like the Jews, like they were slaves, right? So slaves like from going way back ancient times, become displaced from their places and, had children on other people's land, so they don't actually belong in like one place. So they move, like they're nomadic, right? Because they've come from that lineage to be, because for me, my lineage is like from all different parts of the world, right? So, like a lot of indigenous people will say, oh, even though I was born here, like we're not from here, right? It's not our lineage, right? But the problem with that is because we don't actually belong to one place. So the majority of the population are like that, I believe, now. Because nobody belongs to one place anymore, They're a little bit from over there, they're a little bit from over here, they're a little bit from over there. And they become nomadic because they're not tied to one place. So people were persecuted because they didn't belong anywhere. And but I feel these days the majority of people are now displaced, because that's what it is, right? When people, they'd have wars and people would have to flee, and, you've got all these migrants going here, there and everywhere. So nobody becomes attached to the environment from where they're from. So, and one aspect of that is, you don't become attached to the ground, so you can lose that care factor because you're not attached to that place, right? So you traditionally you kind of lose the values of caring for that place because you're just going to move on, so you don't, you know what I mean? I mean, we care even though we're moving, so that's the other thing. If you're living and moving within nature, you have to live with the elements and that as well, right? So you become closer to the ground. When people are established, or their belonging is established in their ancestry, like they've been in that place, it can be then taken for granted. But at the same time, valued. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's going somewhere. So for people to say you don't belong here and you don't belong there, well, none of us do, really. Yeah, I don't know why I come. There was something else about that. Come on, Spirit, come through. It was about being nomadic, but see, in the comings and goings from places, some people can become less caring because they're not attached to the place, right? So they don't think about the sustainability of a place because they're only going to come and go, right? The person that lives there consistently with all the different seasons and whatnot learns the place because they're there within all the seasons. They know when to and when not to do things to a place or with the place or with the resources so that it stays balanced, right? So I feel perhaps, yeah. But you see, at the same time, if you're moving on the ground, going from place to place, you have to follow with the seasons as well. So there's that aspect. So for some reason, I'm talking about this. I don't know why, but I am. It's about belonging somewhere. And when you don't, I feel that this is where we're going here, you know, like perhaps things are shifting. I don't know whether more people are going to become displaced or whether, well, most likely. Got nesting here. See, this is sitting in the one space. But that's kind of precarious too, right? Because it's living in the tree and that tree's dead, right? So it's only going to last, you know, it's ephemeral, so it's not going to last forever. It's, you know, you move there and then you leave, you know what I mean? You nest and then your eggs hatch and then you fly away. So this is what we're moving into, strength. This is what we're moving into. I was going to say this is kind of, what is that on the table? Get away. I don't know what that is. That's the other thing, you know, like when you're coming and going from places, you can see things with fresh eyes as well. Whereas if somebody is in that place for a long time, it becomes, you know, like you take it for granted. You don't kind of see it anymore, you know, like, and there's always that wanting to see something else, even though something that you've got right there is adequate and beautiful. But when you're in a place for a long time, you don't see it anymore, right? So you can become complacent and take things for granted easily. So perhaps the nomadic, the one that nests for a little while and then leaves, comes and goes. I hope I'm speaking loud enough. I should come out early before the traffic started. We're not very far away from the main road there. So, you know, like people, they get up and go to work, you know, like every day they get up at the same time and they eat their breakfast, do their exercise or whatever it is they do, in their routine, get out on the road, race to work, do what they've got to do there, make some money, race back again. Eat their dinner and go to bed every day. Whereas they could be nurturing their spot, their nest. Because you're using, and because, you know, like all these things cost more and more money too, right? To maintain the house. Mum always used to, that was what it was, that's what I was going to say. Mum always used to say, the house is a chain for the dog. Because you get bound to it, right? You get tied to it. You have to run backwards and forwards to work for it. I mean, it's nice to be secure, right, though? It is. But at the same time, it's binding. It depends too, though, on what stage of life we're in, whether we want to, you know, like, depending on our age as to whether we're young and fit enough to just keep that movement. Because I think when people, you know, get in their last years, that comfort is a welcoming, right? Because they can stop moving, having to go from here to there, or even just having to race to work and backwards and forwards. But we're talking about going from place to place, or people being displaced because they don't belong to any specific place. And I feel, like a lot of people that have been persecuted in the Indigenous communities and that come from place, and they're very, very tied to their land spiritually. I totally understand it, because they have a responsibility for that place, right? But that was abused by those that were doing the coming and going for the resources, right? So they could use it for themselves. But it was disrespected. And taken advantage of, the people and the places with the resources. So how do we balance this out now that everybody's displaced? And so, there's that sort of big land grab thing going on, isn't there? I don't watch the news or anything like that, but like people fighting for a position, it's a bit like fighting for the sinking ship, really. I'm not saying that the environment's past it, that's not what I'm saying. It's the system that's sinking. It's breaking because of all the dysplasia. But what happens with all those that... Because I feel that this is where the goals are for some, is to place everyone back in their rightful places, right? But this is the problem. What about those that aren't from anywhere? The gypsies, right? The Jews, they were slaves. And so they were taken from place to place, taken from their place, and having to be slaves for another group of people and integrate into that. So therefore they're not... And then they have children, and they have children, and they have children. And they don't have a place. You think about not having a place. How many, how is this working with all the homeless people and whatnot? Refugees and... So it's having strength here. We need to have strength because we need to be resilient. Camp in a tree. Let's see what Spirit's got for us. We have a Knight of Cups. And we've got the Eight of Cups, walking away from an offer. Well, this is just the collective walking away with their own cup. Walking away with their own cup. This is reminding me of this cup. And the water in there for the bird, see? And this horse has got his cup and the bird. Walking away and just sharing with the birds. The stability is in reverse. 4 of Wands in reverse, Page of Wands. Somebody's talking about it. Somebody other than me are talking about it. There's 9 of Cups. So this has gone from 1 to 8 to 9 of Cups. Full Cups. So that's kind of interesting because this here, the 8 Cups is walking away and these cups are all empty. And this is walking away, right? Might be just walking away with the 1 cup. But now he's walked into 9 and they're all full. See, they're all full of resources. They've walked into a place with empty cups and they're walking out with full cups. That's interesting. Full cup of resources. What does this mean for the collective? Spirit. Look who's here, the Empress. And a Knight of Pentacles. Somebody wants to offer a pentacle to the collective. Somebody's seeing the collective. Freedom, look, that's just the big freedom card right there. This is the Empress and she's flying over this vast land with all these resources. But this is... It's a river and a landscape and fruit and it's abundant, right? It's abundance. And the collective has collected, this is like giving me like picking the fruit because it's ripe and they've filled the cups that were empty. So they've filled, this is like filling others' cups as well. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought because when we were talking about the slaves being shifted from country to country, they're the people that come in and, and refugees and whatnot, and they get jobs like picking fruit and, like filling up the cups for those that are there. So this is like flying around and collecting the fruit and putting it in the cups for a reward, to get paid. This is like giving me like fruit pickers or something. Those that are nomadic, wandering around and they do those sort of jobs. There's no conflict here. This is like a peaceful Knight of Wands. This is a Knight of Wands, swiftly moving. action, taking action to move, to travel. This is the traveling, like this is giving me the traveling, the passion, and the drive. Oh, I just got like Genghis Khan, you know, like Genghis Khan, you know, with his army on the horses, how they rode on the horses like for weeks and weeks. They stayed on the horse. They'd eat on the horse. They'd piss on the horse. You know, they would. You know what I mean? Like they just kept moving. And to sustain themselves, they would the Mongolians would they slice the horse's neck, and they get because they would drink the milk from the horses as well, and they would mix the water and the blood from the horse. They'd just give them a little nick on their throat and mix it with milk, and that would sustain them, and they could go and go and go and go. I'm not suggesting that that's what we do, but I'm just saying, right? It's those survival, or not even, it wasn't, yeah, being able to reap abundance, or, yeah, it's about being able to sustain oneself in transit, like, but to keep moving and sustain oneself. Clarify the Knight of Cups, please, Spirit. Something is ended. So that was the walking away. So there's an ending with a Knight of Cups, perhaps. Or this is the collective just ending something and walking away with their cup. And just sharing their cup with the birds. Yeah, walking away with the Eight of Cups. So that there's an ending from a specific platform, which could be a place. I don't really want you walking over here, please. Thank you. So walking away from lack, with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So that is lack there, right? With the Eight of Cups, walking away from the Page, this having to start over all the time. You know, like this is like working the treadmill, or, you know, like just trying to always make ends meet for a place to be, right? But we're talking about gypsies and movement and nomadic energy. So we're walking away from this lack into filling these cups with abundance, on the move. So here we've got the Magician, the Sun, and the Nine of Pentacles. So this is like having a light bulb moment here with the Sun, like something's been illuminated for the Magician. It's manifesting, right? Coming out of this codependency with others and their system. It's coming out of that dependency, right? There's a Queen of Wands here. So something's been illuminated. Something's been illuminated to be able to fill these cups because of that will, the light bulb moment and the manifestation. Moving from this and then getting that light bulb moment, like, aha, then this is how we do it. You know, with the magician, that's the creator. That's how, that's the guidance on how we do it, right? How do we fill these cups on the move is what I'm saying. You know? 9 of Cups. Yeah. To balance. To keep the balance, right? How do we keep that balance when everybody's transient? It's here though. So yeah, feeling. It's like picking fruit or something. Knight of Pentacles. It could be, you know, like that seasonal movement, living with the seasons and going from one area to another with the seasons. We've got a Knight of Swords coming with an offer. So the Knight of Swords, this is an organization in reverse, or a group of people. Somebody's coming from something that was stable. There's fast movement here in this new beginning. There was a death. Oh, there was a death. Somebody wouldn't stop something in the family ending here. Somebody's in regret. And the defense and the defensive is a Queen of Cups in reverse. Did something under the moon with money. That came out quick, didn't it? I was reading this, and then it was like, oh, there's this going on here, like, but this is what's going on in the background. So somebody did some sort of like moon magic or something with money, to do with somebody's money. Somebody was deceptive, and it was Queen of Cups in reverse, and they're defensive and they're regretful. And this is somebody from a family or ex-family, couldn't give up. They wanted a new beginning, but it resulted in an ending. But that ending resulted in a new beginning for the collective. This is the end. Good morning.
Right.
And this is the Knight of Cups. That's the collective moving on with their 1 cup. Moving away from those 8 empty cups and this poverty mindset, this lack mentality, that things cannot be done in any other way as other than how we have been programmed to. But this is bringing all this abundance and filling these cups, and it's brought balance financially, and this is the offer, and coming fast. From some broken organization or something. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I was waiting for a third one. So, this is from a broken family, a broken organization, a broken group of some sort, a coven of some sort. So this is where this offer here is coming from, towards this Empress. Who's swiftly moving. There's an Ace of Cups here. Love. And then we've got the nest. Investment. Investment in love. It was... I'm not sure. One of them was supposed to come out in reverse there, but I'm not sure which. We have a star juggling here. Walking away from an offer or something. Somebody's longing to end something. Just let me see which way this is supposed to come out. That's come out sideways. Investment in love. Was that supposed to come out? Oh, I'll take them both in the upright. It's just like the collective loving on themselves and loving on what they are nurturing. This is the Empress nurturing the nest. But this is almost like giving me like this is the egg hatched and this is the abundance within that egg. Or yeah, it's like loving on one's investment nest, whatever they're nurturing, growing, is this movement. Getting things ready in the nest, getting things ready for this movement. Knight of Wands. It's judgment here. Somebody might be under some sort of judgment for something. We've got a Wheel of Fortune here. This is not bad for the collective. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. The Fool. It's just this not moving, stagnant. There's no conflict. Holding back with Pentacles. Lack mindset, and this is a projection. This is a lack mindset projection. That's what's being judged here. Somebody's projecting, collective. Do you return to senders or, keep the protection up, right? Because somebody's projecting. They're projecting this lack mindset towards the collective. Like to keep somebody still. They don't want the movement. They don't want conflict. They don't want conflict. They don't want movement. The Wheel of Fortune. But that's the Wheel of Fortune, the movement. Somebody wants to stop the collective's movement. So they're projecting with judgments. They're doing it like with spell work, with word, speaking into existence. That's what this is. 5 of Swords. This is spell work. What's under there? But the collective's too strong here. They're a star, because underneath that is the star. But this can also be somebody projecting towards the collective to avoid. Think of this on a mass scale, right? A whole lot of refugees. Trying to be stopped from them moving forward. With lack. Stopping them from moving because of the lack of resources. And so to not have conflict and being the Fool in reverse is like no new beginning. The Fool is like, yeah, that's like stopped. So this is lack and stop, to stop some sort of conflict moving forward. Why do they think there's going to be conflict? This is a judgment that's been projected. I'm getting like this is been projected on mass scale, right? In many places. How to move forward without conflict. Without being able to stop. Well, somebody's not been able to stop the collective movement by projecting frugal, I said frugal, but, projecting lack mindset. I mean, we got to be frugal, right? But shit, like, I was thinking I might go down and, stay with my daughter for a couple of weeks in a caravan park, because, like, other than that, I'll be like camping out, right? And just occasionally pull into a caravan park, but, like it costs for a week to stay in a caravan park with just a tent site, right? It's like $400 a week. Like, that's as much as a house, right? Where I stay now, with the studio and gallery and my accommodation, it's $400 a week. But to go camping in a caravan park, to stay there, just to use the facilities like a shower and shit, $400 a week if you're going to stay there for a week. So it's like around $45 a night. It's a lot, eh? So that won't be happening very often. But this is becoming an issue, right? Like, because so many people are homeless as well. I mean, you've got refugees, go from country, that are war-torn, but then in other countries you've just got people that are homeless because of this is a scenario that they've created for us. And now I feel like that they're panicking about what they've created, this mass movement. Holding back judgment because somebody's holding back judgment because they don't want conflict and they don't want the collective to move on. Somebody's not saying something to avoid conflict. But they can't stop the movement. Clarify this conflict spirit. Because I'm talking about homelessness, right? Did I say somebody talking, or somebody was preventing saying something? This is somebody. There's justice here. Justice for homelessness. Speaking out about justice for homeless. Huh. Well, that's something. Speaking out about the justice for homeless. Collective, is this something that's going on for you? And this is what's the... I feel that there's authorities here that this is want to stop the collective, so they've been working on holding back resources to stop that movement, because they don't want somebody speaking out about the homeless. Wow. Sure. Wow. Oh my goodness. This has just got bigger. Right? Because isn't it like a massive, massive issue? But it sort of... It is something that has been purposefully created. You know? Because... I'm not sure whether it's happened here yet, but I believe it is in America, and there's probably many places now where it has become illegal to be homeless. So if you create a whole lot of people through strategy to become homeless, through processes and protocols and all that kind of thing. You know, like they can claim that they're not going to take accountability for that, because they're not going to claim responsibility. And these are the powers that be, right? You know, we've got those heads of state that meet, you know, with there was a G20, and then it went to the G10, and then the G7, right? And they have their meetings, these global leaders. And this is the strategy, right? It's to cause a whole lot of homelessness through protocols and processes, right? And the how can I put it? It sort of stems from Nixon's so-called bloody war on drugs, and yet they, created it and brought it and allow it to be taking communities, whole towns and communities taken by drugs, and people taking themselves out and all that sort of shit. It's part of the plan, right? So in doing that, people become displaced as well, because they're so messed up on drugs and shit, they can't, they can't even manage a house, you know what I mean? They can't, get the bills paid. They can't, because they're, fucked up addictions, right? But this is part of the plan to I don't even want to say it. But if you make a whole lot of people homeless and make the laws to be that that it's illegal to be homeless, then all those homeless people are criminals, right? So then all those homeless people, they've got to do something with the criminals. So what do to get them out of being homeless? I don't want to speak anything into existence because we want to speak out about this and actually prevent that from happening. This is something to be aware of if you're in this position, because if they pick up all the homeless people for being homeless because it's illegal to be homeless, so they make it a whole bunch of criminals. There are a whole bunch of criminals out there as well like this, right? Because they're all fucked up. But this was the plan, and people went with it. So if you've got a whole bunch of people that are criminals on the street, then they've got a right to come in and clean up, right? In whatever way that form that will be. I think there was places that were being built like big camps, you know what I mean? They were building them here a while back, but then we didn't hear anything about it, these detention centres and shit. That's it. So just normal old homeless people will become like detainees. So we've got bad news here for a journey. Okay, so what's going on here, Spirit? Just what I was saying, I believe. A rich man's getting involved. Well, a rich man's getting this bad news that they can't move. Or they're stopping someone from moving. This rich man's stopping people moving by taking away the resources. So this is this walking away. This is this walking away with empty cups. Okay? This is like homeless people walking away. But the trick is to find out is how do we keep these cups full whilst being transient. Okay? How do you keep moving around to avoid grief? There's dishonour and prevent illness on the road with the devil, because there's plenty of that shit out there. Main female, a main male is in reverse, so there's no main male, just a main female. See how that's become a strategy for this rich man to put people in jail. Can't believe how this is coming out, right? Shit. So where's this leading us, Spirit? To court? Partnership. A thief is in reverse. An ex-con? Partnership. See, it won't take much to be an ex-con or be a con, because people will be in survival mode, right? So what are they creating for the fucking court system? Partnerships? Will be overflowing? We've got murky thoughts and bad luck. Somebody's projecting this murky thoughts and bad luck. There's no meeting. There's no meeting. A lot of money. No grief. No meeting, no grief about a lot of money. No grief about a lot of money and dishonour. For this chariot, this movement. Living room in reverse, and then movement, see? So the living room is in reverse, and then there's the chariot, movement, dishonoured. So nomads become dishonoured. But they're unaggrieved. Because they've found a way without a meeting, without being told. Collective have found a way. Ta-da! No legal matters. It can be done with no legal issues. Occupational gifts. This is pretty much saying surviving with nothing. No gifts, no occupation, but with no legal issues. Being able to live free, right? Like the Empress. See how the Empress is just flying over the landscape. Freedom. High up high, over the top of everything. Anything else? With no illnesses. His thoughts, none of his thoughts. No illnesses. New beginning. So it was unexpected. Interesting. From the officials. The officials didn't expect it. Come out as the good Lord in reverse. The officials did. The officials come out as the good Lord in reverse. Because they're not helping. Maybe they will. Once they get this message. It's a long road.
Okay.
You have a nice day. Yeah, that's come out with the chariot. Chariot and a long road. And it's a 9 and a 35. 35 breaks down to a 9, so it's 9-9. Right? It's the ending of a cycle. And this is the new cycle beginning. Yeah. Well, I reckon that sounds pretty good. But there's a whole lot of stuff going on here in the background, so be aware. It's not like easy traveling, because we need to know what's going on in the background in that sense. But you know, we'll be up. Spirit keeps us updated, right? Yeah. But it does help to know actually what's going on in the background as well. I hope I hope that's been clear, right? So again, you can thank you for watching. I'm gonna end it there, and please like, share, and subscribe. It's always that helps me in the algorithms. And thank you so much if you've become a subscriber, new subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the likes, shares, and the comments. That's all really helpful and keeps me positive as well. So keep watching. It won't be long before we're on the move. Okay, so I'm going to get moving now, and I'm going to go and have some breakfast. So okay, I'll end it there, and see you in the next video. Bye.